Alright, hey, what's up? I just wanted to talk pretty quick about how I mentally prioritize or differentiate or just how I see the importance of the main lifts and accessories and how they differ from each other. I think because of social media, everybody glamorizes the main lift. The fact that everybody always posts their PRs and their main lifts, and everybody really glamorizes the main lifts and maxing out and just being awesome and getting all your likes and all this attention on social media. A lot of false importance gets put on these. When I came up in powerlifting, accessory work was what it was taught to me, was how you got stronger. The main lifts were important, yes, but accessories is how you got stronger, how you got better. It's pretty difficult nowadays when you're talking to someone or trying to train someone to get it through to them that the main lift is important, yes. That's what you do, squat, bench, and deadlift. But the accessories is where you get better. I kind of like to create an analogy of, and if you're someone who is super anal or OCD about how things go, you're not going to like what I have to say. You're not even going to listen to what I'm trying to say. You're just going to hear what I'm comparing it to, and you're just going to shut off. So if you're one of those people, just phase out. I think of your main lift, squat, bench, deadlift, first lift you do when you get to the gym, your very first lift. That is you sharpening your blade. Cleaning your blade, sharpening it, you're making it better. You're taking all the work you've done and making that main lift better. You're making it sharp, you're making it look pretty, you're just making it perfect. Your secondary movements, everything you do after your main lift, that would be you forging your blade. You're beating the metal, you're reinforcing it, you're making it stronger, you're making it indestructible. I understand that that's not how this process works in real life. I understand that you forge first and then you finish and you sharpen. So get over the fact that I'm doing this in reverse order. It's completely relevant in my mind. The accessories is where you reinforce your blade. You're making it stronger, you're making it indestructible, you're making it better. Your first lifts, that's where you sharpen your blade. You make it perfect, you finish it off. You make it look pretty. I've had some people that I've been helping training, they'll talk about how the main lifts throughout their 3-month program is kind of easy, or they could have done more, or they had some left in the tank. If that is the case, then why did it look like shit? I'm not saying that everybody who has had this mentality with me has shitty looking lifts, but I'm saying there are some days where they will do their main lift and the technique was not horrible, but it wasn't good, and they'll just focus on the fact that, hey, I could have done more, not I could have made this better, I could have made it perfect. In my mind, the first lift is where you perfect your technique, you make it look pretty, you make it look awesome, effective, efficient. The accessories is where you punch in. You know, people on social media don't post their accessories. They don't post the boring stuff. 4 sets of 5, 4 sets of 8, doing pod squats until you throw up, doing super heavy rack pulls or Dimmel deadlifts or glute ham raises or inverse curls. Nobody wants to watch that shit on social media, and everybody's all about views on social media, so why are they going to post that stuff? But in reality, that's how people get stronger, that's how they get better. So try to think of it as making a blade. The first lift, you're sharpening your blade, you're sharpening your tool, you're sharpening your squat, your bench, your deadlift, you're making it perfect. If it feels like the weights are too easy or you could have got more in the tank, then you weren't necessarily focusing on the most important part, which was making your lift perfect. If you focus on making your lift perfect, then when you get into a situation where you're trying a weight that either scares you, makes you nervous, or you're on meet day, and I have a lot of people, when they get into that situation, whether it's being on meet day or they're trying a weight they've never tried before, or anybody really. I mean, I do it myself. You revert to what you know. You revert back to habit. So if your technique isn't necessarily good in the first place and you get into a situation where you're trying a weight that is challenging and you get scared and you just go blank, you're not thinking about anything, you revert back to bad habits. So if you can make awesome technique your habit, you don't have to worry about it once you get on the platform and your mind freezes or you go blank. Like, you just do it. You don't have to think, okay, when I'm squatting, hips have to go back, I have to open up my knees, my chest has to stay up, my head has to stay back in the bar, I have to brace. This stuff just happens because it's a habit. And this is everything that you learn doing your first exercise correctly. So that is just my take on the difference between your main lift and accessories. Both are extremely important, but we cannot forget that accessories is what makes you better. Just, in my opinion, hands down, accessories is what makes you better. That's what builds your strength, that what builds your platform, builds your foundation. So I hope this helps. And if you couldn't get past the fact that I put bladesmithing or blade making in reverse order, I'm sorry. That's just something that I thought of that helps me explain the importance of the difference.